from me, a very good afternoon.
Students in Wales say they've been struggling to make ends meet during lockdown. Cardiff University student Rowan Maddock says she's had to sell her own clothes online to pay for rent. And as if the prospect of undergoing open heart surgery wasn't daunting enough, 7-year-old Braden had to do it during a global crisis. Good afternoon. Some universities in Wales say since the start of lockdown, they've seen almost a 200% rise in students applying for emergency financial support. Many students say they've been unable to find the part-time work they would normally rely on to make ends meet. Will Fife has more.
So I've laid out some of the bits on my bed which I'm trying to sell on Depop. It ranges from tops to shorts, and essentially